Tariffs, a budget-ruining situation for some, and a massive opportunity for profit for others. Because of the chaotic nature, some loopholes and opportunities are about to open and allow certain car companies to garner an even greater foothold on US soil. And out of all the legacy car manufacturers, Toyota's looking forward to the situation more than any other. Let's see how the company will benefit from the ensuing crisis as we take you through the key reasons why the Toyota CEO is quietly celebrating Trump's tariffs. US domestic production. One of the key reasons why Toyota will keep selling well over the incoming years, despite tariffs being in place, is because most of Toyota's US lineup is already being domestically made. For example, Toyota's current bestseller in the US, the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, has been made in Kentucky for more than 4 years now. And considering the fact that the RAV4 is just about to go through a complete redesign, and seeing how it's highly unlikely that it will come as a non-hybrid, all of its production can be transitioned here with relative ease. This is the same plant that has been building the Toyota Camry for over 2 years consecutively, and it's only growing in size as time goes by. Plus, other models like the Toyota Corolla and Corolla Cross are also being made in the US in Blue Springs, Mississippi and Huntsville, Alabama, meaning that they too will result in Toyota's production output being contained in the United States. And if you're from Canada, don't worry, because Toyota also has plants there too, which means that production for the Canadian market will mostly be unchanged, especially for something like a Toyota RAV4. Essentially, Toyota's insistence on making as many cars as possible on US soil, as well as outside of Canadian borders, is sure to bring them quite a nice buck for the next couple of years. And besides, even if they have to import things, like with the case with the Land Cruiser, the Crown and Crown Insignia, imports come mostly from Japan. Toyota is a pretty traditional company, and when it comes down to building the best the company has to offer, they'd much rather keep making vehicles under their own wing, fingers, and supervision than leave it to the Americans, Canadians, and Mexicans. That's why Toyota's top-of-the-line models, such as the Crown lineup, which has been gaining in popularity over the past 2 years, as well as the phenomenal new Land Cruiser, are all still being made in Japan. What does this mean for us? Well, simple. The price stays the same. Now sure, we know all of these have already been pretty expensive vehicles, and that alone has been one of the key reasons why they weren't even more popular. But that's the point. They will become much more alluring when priced competitively, or even better than their direct rivals. As such, Toyota is sure to, if not dominate, then at least establish a certain presence on the market as a premium manufacturer too, offering a viable alternative to its Lexus lineup at a lower price tag, while still being nearly as luscious tech and comfort-wise. Reliability is the name of the game. One of the key reasons why people buy Toyotas is, well, how reliable they are. Sure, Toyota has been going through some relatively tough times in the past few years, but then again, who didn't? They still managed to be one of the most reliable manufacturers on the market, and they still managed to satisfy and respect a large portion of their buyers, much unlike Ford, GM, and especially Stellantis. Plus, we're not just talking about vehicle reliability, no, we're talking about the entire system of production and supply. A couple of years back, during the global crisis and shortage of microchips, Toyota was the only company that reliably supplied their vehicles to their dealers, allowing them to bring considerably more customers to their brand than any other company. This allowed Toyota to show what true responsibility is, and because of this, many buyers are expecting the company to offer same levels of reliability under tariffs. As a result, with the current issues the Detroit 3 are going through, Toyota is sure to steal the spotlight and will definitely be an even more interesting proposition for buyers, because it'll keep offering their entire lineup at a similar price they do today, allowing them to retain their stability on the US market today. In fact, speaking of stability in the US, unrivaled presence on US roads. Toyotas are everywhere. Everyone knows multiple people that drive or aspire towards Toyotas. This means that the brand has managed to garner quite a bit of brand loyalty over the years, and they keep bringing in more and more people with every given day. By looking at 25 best-selling vehicles in the US last year, you'll find 6 Toyotas, with the RAV4 taking the 3rd overall place, just behind the F-150 and the Ram 1500. With over 475,000 units sold last year. Plus, Toyota as a brand has been synonymous with stability, and its image has only been petrified further over the past few decades, with the company improving more and more and listening to their customers and their wishes. It's simple. Toyotas offer everything a person needs: reliability, practicality, and a low price tag, much unlike its direct American rivals, which have been getting progressively more expensive over the past decade, while offering less and less quality to boot. Which brings us to the final point for today. Rivals will be hit harder. Let's face it, if not for the pickup trucks, the big three would long have been chewed up and spit out by the Japanese, especially Toyota. They have all been struggling with sales of their regular cars compared to Toyota, or any other Japanese manufacturer for that matter, and they've slowly been transitioning their production to other countries, most notably Canada and Mexico, to increase their profits, not to offer competitive pricing. And now, with tariffs on the rise, they're about to experience a true crash in favor of Toyota. You see, because of their transitioning to other North American countries for most of their lineup, these vehicles will all cost significantly more than they do now. Most notably, the large pickup truck segment will go through a painful and agonizing reality of being replaced by either mid-sized trucks or non-American full-size trucks. For example, the GM Twins, the Silverado, and Sierra will almost certainly be replaced in sales by the Toyota Tundra and the Ram 1500. The Tundra is currently the most American-made full-size pickup truck, sitting proudly at the 20th place out of 100 on the American-made index list. For comparison, the Ram 1500 is the second best pickup truck on the list, and it takes up a mediocre 43rd place. And then comes the F-150. The regular model takes up the 58th place, whereas the hybrid sits at the 76th place. Not great, by a long shot. And then you've got the GM Twins, both of which hit rock bottom, sitting at a shameful 89th and 90th place respectively. It's really quite shameful and quite unbelievable that vehicles that were once a symbol of Americana are being schooled by a truck that's of Japanese descent on what it means to be made in America. And that's not even the half of it. Most of the Toyota lineup, as we've already mentioned, is largely made in the US. On the flip side, most other cars that have already been in Toyota models' shadows are being made in Mexico. This means that they will have to fight yet another battle against Toyota, against which they were already losing. For example, the Toyota Highlander is one of the most American-made vehicles currently on sale. Its rivals? Either fully or at least partially made outside of our borders. Honestly, GM and Stellantis will be hit the worst here. Stellantis has already noted a 20+% market loss during last year, and they've already started laying off people and workers at a rapid pace. In fact, Carlos Tavares has notified the public that he'll be leaving the CEO position. On the other hand, while GM still retains some semblance of a foothold, it doesn't have nearly as much brand presence as Ford in the full-size market, nor can it rival Toyota in any other segment. Really, the only Toyota that will be hit is the Tacoma due to it being made in Mexico, but Toyota might still transition production back to the US. And even if they don't, they'll still get drastically bigger sales from the Tundra. And that's like sacrificing a bishop for a queen. Everyone would make that deal. Essentially, Toyota's relationship with its customer base, as well as its general security and predictability, have more than paid off. What seems to be an economic catastrophe for its rivals, which are now being practically shaken down for every last penny because they tried to make a quick buck, is about to turn into the most profitable for USDM Toyotas, maybe ever.